Evening, my fellow human beings. My name's Dion Harper. That's no secret these days. Why am I online? Personal journey-wise, it's the GMS. That's common knowledge as well. Who do I represent? All our future loved ones as yet to come. They don't really have much say in what we're doing in the here and now, the very short here and now from my perspective. But everything we do in the very short here and now reflects in regards to how they have to live their lives on this finite and nature planet that we're very fortunate to be residing on. So yeah, personal journey wise, that's why I'm online, who I represent, etc. Oh, excuse me, losing my phone here. Beyond that, what do we got? Well, we got us. We're a subspecies of mammal, finite nature planet, several billion of us. We've got the mechanism we've been choosing to live by for decades now. Borderline democratically based in a big portion of the world sort of thing, but you know, I'm a bit concerned about that side of things. Democracy, freedom of the right to speak, freedom of speech and all that sort of stuff, you know, fundamental sort of things. I'm a big believer. It's at the core of the personal journey side of things, why I'm online, the democratically based GMS equation. Totally transparent, totally education and equality based, totally sustainable global co-op, a global mission statement written for all, by all. So yeah, democracy, freedom of speech, all that sort of stuff, it's kind of implied that it's in there. But getting to go sidetrack for a second, I'm a pensioner, live day to day, fixed income, stuck in the system I was born into as a born and bred consumer, as I say, trying to do the right thing, stick to the science, get, you know, etc, etc, etc. This is how it is with what's happening with our right there earth problems. I'm trying. Now I can jump online, saying that, I can jump online and I could find any country really, politicians for instance, getting paid top dollar that are undermining the basic principles of how I would see a functioning democracy would work and the freedom of speech, because keeping in mind that there's some fundamentals here, nuts and bolts stuff. Subspecies mammal reside on a finite nature planet. So let's start there. You know, we can go in another direction, off on another tangent perhaps. Subspecies mammal, the spirituality side of things. I'd start with I myself, I feel that I'm a very spiritual person, human being, and via that spirituality, one could argue that I pray in my own way, and in many ways I move through this life as in push comes to shove, at the end of the day, you know, I'll look back and I'll think, what was it all about, etc. And if there's anything after this life, in my situation, in my case, I live my life based on, perhaps if there is an afterlife, then I'm going to be judged based on every move I made in this life. Mistakes and all, like if it's there, then I'd like to think that mistakes here and there are all factored in, but it's how you try and the bigger picture and the push comes to shove, what was my life's efforts worth, that sort of stuff. So this is a big deal, because have a look at what's going on at the moment. It's a pretty sad state of affairs. It's and I'm talking about our personal faith side of things. We need to find a common ground with all that stuff. And I would start with the spirituality, the nuts and bolts. I'm a human being, I'm spiritual, etc. And try and bring it all together to a manageable middle ground where we can be a functional global community, so we can work together on our right there earth problems. that we can't fix as such. It's about managing it and helping Earth mend along the way and that sort of stuff, because unfortunately we've already done some serious damage, so it's not a just fix it sort of situation. But yeah, so we've got the spirituality, what else? Democracy, freedom of speech, touch base there. Where else could we go? Population. I'll just say one adult, one child, two adults, two children. The basic family structure sort of, in this day and age. Back in the old days, I came from a world where my elders had lots of siblings, but nuts and bolts stuff, if we want to talk about long-term intergenerational stuff, there are equations we can talk about where we can, starting at the one adult, one child thing, where we could potentially stabilise our global population as we go, with no bloodshed, no fighting or losing any bloodlines or anything like that. Equations, communication, what is it, what are we doing, understanding, disinformation and misinformation and all the stuff that's coming with the metadata world. That's, we've got to, because we can do the dance and talk the talk and wordplay and all that stuff, but if we keep playing games, again, our earth problems are right there. So if we keep playing games, that might well come right back in our face and be a big problem for us into the future. And there won't be any gimmies buy our way out of the problems that I'm talking about. A mass extinction level event scenario on Earth is a very serious situation. It's just, it concerns me. Now, I'll leave it there. I'll jump offline because it's getting on time now. It's getting on in the evening. And this weekend, towards the end of May 2024, it's not putting myself out or anything, but I'll extend a few new welcomes and a couple of goodwill, would you like to connect? I'll extend a few of them, because re-welcomes that I've already welcomed, they've already been welcomed, so I mentioned this in my last chat. But anyway, moving on, I'll leave it there. Yeah, I'm taking the mellow approach, but I can get quite a bit more serious. I can change a few gears. And you put me in a room, it's hard to explain because my memory's a bit funny, but nuts, the logic side of things, you put me in a room with a bunch of people and I'm pretty confident, I'll back myself that managed properly, a straight down the line, no games, let's talk about it sort of thing, I'll do all right. So I'll back myself on that side of things. But yeah, none of this short-term political cycle stuff. We need to think bigger than that. I personally work in 100-year blocks as far as the logic of it all. What's our objective? What's the long-term objective? And every so often we'll reassess, but not every 4 years, and not just switch it down under. I don't know how, well, I do know how, but down under, and I'm telling, I've got a lot of politicians that are blocking me or following me or whatever, but you don't necessarily need elections down under to swap out a leader. You could wake up the next morning, you've got a new leader. It's the way it works. That cannot be how it works. If we're going to call it a democracy and we're going to be a functioning global community and we're going to factor in the future and this finite nature planet that we reside on, and when we say we do it for our children, we know what we're doing when we say that. Otherwise, we're all talk. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Regards, Dion. Peace to you and all, including all future loved ones, as yet to come, gone.